Hey guys, it's Cooper Codes here, and today's going to be the third day of the challenge. And so I just bought this book, JavaScript Definitive Guide 6th edition. I'm gonna be going through the book today and just gonna be going through it, taking some notes to the left. If I need to do any programming, I'll do it to the right. That's pretty much it. I had audio recorded for this earlier, but I lost it, so I'm actually not using the computer right now. It's like a voiceover type of deal. So eventually I'm gonna open a folder here, and I'm just gonna show you guys that I made two new files just for day 3, just for testing purposes. Yep, right here. Made those files nice and easy. Yeah. And then after this, I just get into the programming. So, yep. And now I'm gonna switch to the. I'm gonna make the video go really fast. So 1 sec. All right, guys. This is the voiceover of me taking notes in the book. So I pretty much just took what was in the book, like put it in my own words. As you can see here, I got numbers, strings, a bunch of other stuff that's related to JavaScript. I just wanted to go over the basics again because I feel like I didn't have a fundamental understanding. I was getting into stuff that wasn't really at my level yet. I kind of had to do this other stuff first, but I feel like after today's session, definitely more information in my head. Like, I know how to do more stuff now, so it's a good feeling, obviously. You can see I'm just creating, looking at objects here. So that's all I was kind of confused on yesterday. I learned just a couple things on objects here, and I wrote them down. Yeah, that's that. JavaScript also supports arrays. So I did some array.length stuff, how to find the length of an array. Yeah, that's pretty much it. How to define a new thing in the array. So array 4 equals 25 makes it 25 in the 5th position. Creating an empty array, just like basic stuff. Like, this is just going to be a reference for me, at least, just for stuff I can go back and look at. So, example of an array with objects. Testing array. So yeah, arrays can hold objects, and objects can hold arrays. That was an issue I was having with earlier, so it's good to know that that's all figured out now. So I just made 2 different examples. The first example is the array with the objects inside of it. Then it was the object with the array, with the arrays inside of it. Alright, now I did a little bit of coding here to see if I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It did work out. And so I just explained about what I was doing with the arrays. I was just going through the first array in each index of that array, then the second array, and each index of that array. So yeah, that's pretty much that. Just doing my thing, programming. If you're interested as to where I got in the book, I'm now at chapter 3 out of like a bunch of chapters, but the first chapters are pretty small. It was only like 30 pages, but if you've ever read these crazy coding textbooks, the pages are pretty detailed. I obviously didn't write everything, and I didn't want to copy down word for word what they were saying all the time, because yeah, I don't really know the legality of the issue, but honestly I think what I'm doing here is fine. The worst thing that happens is I get a slap on the wrist. So basic JavaScript arithmetic, just going into this. Division, multiplication, string concatenation. I think I was having an issue with that earlier when you do 20 plus 40, but they're strings. It would make 2040 as a total string. Shorthand operators. I also needed to be using these more often. I did not know the shorthand for like the times equals, which I'm going to be doing in a second here. So yep, there we go. You can just like see that stuff there. So it's like num is equal to none times 10, so just like redeclaring it, but times 10 is why you would use that. So basic equalities and operators. See, I didn't even know these, so it was good to get, or I kind of knew the less than and greater than, but I didn't know where like the equal sign went, if it was less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to. So that's an issue I kind of got cleared up. I also learned you can like say a string is less than or greater than, and we'll find like where it is in the alphabet, and it's kind of weird how it does that, but I even wrote down like weird. So then I went into ands and ors, and the little exclamation point thing here you'll see next, it just reverses the Boolean statement. I kind of already knew about those from regular Java. Not that JavaScript and Java are similar, but just regular Java, I knew that stuff. So that was more review. I think I took a break here. So yeah, I took a break. I'm just chilling. So I was reading. If it's taking so long because I was reading. So like some of these stops are I'm either reading or I'm taking a break. I think it was reading for a couple of them. Then I got into useful JavaScript codes. I did not know about these. These are pretty cool. You can like make stuff do certain things in the console. In my Java class, I used things similar to these to like have different variables display on each line. So I kind of already knew what they were, but I just tested them out, and yeah. So then I just like in the notes I have an example of what each one does. All right, here I took a small break. I think it was like 15 minutes. Could be longer. You can look at the time go by, because it's 1,500% faster if you want to learn or if you want to know that. So what does that make us? I don't know. It's just really fast is all you have to know. So once I get into more complicated program, I'm going to get more comfortable with JavaScript. I think I'm going to definitely have my videos be longer, like even like in the 15-minute range. But for now, before I'm making any huge projects, I think I'm good. Alright, so back, I was reading. So some of the interesting stuff in here is it talks about JavaScript on the client side. There's about 15 pages of that. So I did learn about some HTML and JavaScript stuff, but I don't really want to get into that yet. But it's good to know that it's there, and this is a really good resource, this book, for not only just for JavaScript, but also how JavaScript works in a web page. So JavaScript interprets code and semicolon stuff. There's a couple pages on this. So I was usually just putting a semicolon at the end of every single statement, so that was good for me. So I just talked about some of the weird like dependencies that happen with the semicolons here. I did a little post on Reddit to see if sharing my book notes was, if anyone had experience in that. And so I kind of got sidetracked there, but I was like thinking about it, and I was like, alright, I'm gonna go do it. Okay, I got sidetracked at Reddit again, and I was like, okay, I gotta focus, I'm pretty sure. So you can see this is a weird one. So it's like you have each thing written out, but JavaScript sees it as they have semicolons even though they don't. Kind of a weird one there. Also these next ones is it's like if you don't put a semicolon, it's like you could like have the next statement like connect to the two statements could connect. So it talked about using defensive semicolons. So you put a semicolon at the first part of the next statement. If it's two different statements, the first part of the next statement, and it allows you to make sure that your stuff won't be like come together like that. So that's something to look for when I'm debugging. Although I'm pretty sure I won't make that issue. I haven't made it yet, so I'm being pretty safe. And then that was it for tonight. It's kind of funny. It feels like a lot of work when I'm reading the book and stuff, but then I look back and it's like, I mean, obviously I did a lot of work, but 2 hours is a long time. So that is it. If you're interested in the next chapter, it's types, values, and variables. And so I'm just going to be getting into the different things. I'm just really it's probably going to be faster than this video. I'm just going to be reading, and if there's anything that really pops out, I'll write it down in the notes, but I think for now we're kind of good on this stuff. I definitely just want to get into the object-oriented stuff. There is some stuff in here that I do want to cover though, like switch statements. I have not done those. Functions though, just looking around, delete operator. I've not done that yet. Void operator, so there's definitely some stuff here that I'm going to cover tomorrow. So if you're interested in that video, make sure you subscribe and like. Join the Discord below, or yeah, I think I'll add it below. And yeah, that's it. If you're watching, appreciate it. If you found value in this video, subscribe. I think I just said that. It's late right now, I'm sorry. And yeah, that's that. Have a good night or good morning.